I just wanted to hug him. He's like the most huggable. He's the most huggable character in the world.
We see a new part of Zootopia-themed.
Yes.
Where did you go for the research of that? Because you always go to places to do the research, and I was like, where did they go?
Well, you know, it's funny. So we don't have sort of one set research period.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing research constantly. Byron and I are also, we just love the animal world. So I'd say I've spent a lot of time in New Orleans and the bayous down there, a lot of time in Florida. And then on top of that, there's reference, we took a lot of inspiration from the floating markets in Southeast Asia. And then in general, I love marine mammals, and I've spent a lot of time around them, sea lions and seals and walruses. And so over those 4 to 5 years, many trips to hang out with animals like that and be in those environments. And then our entire team that had to create it, early on, it took so long to build it, we had to say, even if the story changes, we're gonna go to this location. And so it may not be, story may not be exactly, the intention 3 years ago, but we're gonna go to this place. And so we had to treat it like really visiting an actual live action set. As an example, we're gonna do a movie, we're gonna go to Munich. What happens in Munich may change, but we're going to Munich. And so we had to build this place with that in mind.
That's so cool. It looked amazing.
Thank you.
It was great. You said the intention may be changed, but you plan to go there. When you do a sequel and you sit down in the writer's room, where do you say, okay, we're starting here?
Early on, we knew that the story had to be about Judy and Nick. Their relationship was the very core of the story. So as we went through different iterations, we would constantly say, are we deepening their story in the right way? Or if we've added other elements, like the mystery at different points, the mystery is even more complex than it is in the final film, but it started to take away from that character story. And so I think more than anything, you have to have a true north, and our true north was the continuation of that partnership in the most entertaining way possible. And you have to say, okay, well, what can they do that's gonna put the most pressure on that relationship? And so some of the environments you get to visit are there really just to add extra pressure on their relationship as we move through the story.
I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah.
You were a writer on Zoomania, you were hired, and then you also became a director and writer at the same time for Encanto. How did that happen, and how was the difference of just writing a movie and writing it with the intention, okay, I'm also going to direct that?
I had the luxury of working with my directing partner, Byron Howard. So he hired me on the first film. I'd say making movies at Disney is a team sport. Everyone is very collaborative. I benefited early on from, I'd say I'm a visual writer, meaning as I'm writing, I'm not just thinking about the dialogue, I'm thinking about the location. I'd say definitely a fan of using a situation to make the comedy stronger or to make the emotion stronger. And so weirdly for me, the role of director in animation is kind of similar to something called a showrunner in television. I came from television, and that's where in a showrunner position, you have to have ability to communicate to lots of different departments. Those departments are not the same, obviously, as live action, as animation, but I was very comfortable talking to actors and then talking to artists and saying, here's what this might look like, but in a way that says, I'm just trying to define a fun sandbox to play in, not here's exactly what's gonna happen, but here's a really fun location, what could we do with it? And at Disney Animation, I'm surrounded by geniuses that bring that to life, and then of course, add their own ideas and own jokes and elevate it every step of the way. So much of what you're gonna see in this movie is not anything that I've written. It is just really smart people bringing their best to the story.
That's so exciting. You're also voicing a character this time, again, like the last time.
Yes.
How did you decide with your partner to voice that and also do it again?
Yeah, it's funny. It's early on, we actually, before we get our actors, we actually voice all of the characters. So early on, it's our core team. There's not that many people. A lot of it's story artists and writers and directors and editors. If you listen to our early versions of the movie, it's us kind of doing 30 different roles. And we have this amazing cast in this film. And I think for this one, we have Yeah, two very special characters that I'd say that dynamic is one that we really liked. I think Byron and I are such good friends. It felt like a perfect way to memorialize that friendship.
So sweet. Also, your German was really good.
Thank you.
It was really good. And then you said you're voicing like a German character, and I thought, okay, that works out perfectly.
Very good.
Going with the German characters, you
Yeah.
have two sets of German characters
Yes,
this time.
yeah.
Do you have like a special thing for like German characters?
I
Or
do.
Where does it come from?
No, I do. So I spent a lot of time in Germany growing up, and then I took German for 6 years, as did Byron, by the way. So we both of us, that's what we studied when we were in junior high and high school. And so yeah, it's always been near to my heart. So it's to me, it's we didn't have those characters in the first film, and we're always trying to expand our world.
I mean, there's like a lot of representation, but also like the German, and then you say, there's more German. Okay. No, but I'm so excited to see
good.
that, and they're hilarious. So, Zoomania is already like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like almost. It's so exciting. I was 16 when it came out.
my gosh.
And it had like a huge impact on everyone around me. I remember that.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
How do you you develop that? And then you see like everyone's going crazy, and especially in like Asian realms with like the park and everything.
Yeah.
How does that feel to like have such an impact and also see your characters like walking around, see the city existing?
It's surreal, and it makes me emotional. You know, I think when you're working these stories, you know, like I said, it's hundreds of people coming together to make something, and just trying to get a movie made at all and on the screen is it's like winning the lottery. Beyond that, the idea that they would come to life, that there would be a park where you would see these characters, or the characters are walking around themselves. I remember we just recently announced that Clawhauser was going to be a walk-around character, and the first time they brought Clawhauser into our offices to sort of say, oh, here's what he's going to look like, I remember being very emotional. I just wanted to hug him. He's like the most huggable. He's the most huggable character in the world. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. You work in these movies for so long. These characters become friends of yours, like truly become friends of yours, and it's like you know them. And so, to me, it's like this really nostalgic thing for me. But it's also, as you can imagine, it's a dream come true. I mean, I grew up a Disney kid. Going to the parks was something that, you know, was something we'd be able to do, and it was like always the best family vacation. And so to be a part of that in this different way is, yeah, to me, I can't even, like, younger me could never have believed this is possible.
Yeah, it's crazy. And for the end, you named us so many cool animal facts in the show. Do you have a favorite animal fact you've learned in like the journey?
Oh man, I mean, there are a lot. I will say I love animals in general. That's how I came to this project, is I've always loved animals. Early on, they said, we're gonna have to do research trips, and I was already at the zoo literally every weekend anyway, so I'm like, I'll just be here and I'll just use the pictures I've already taken. There's a lot. I would say that in this movie, one of the ones that I like the most from a comedy perspective is koalas have 2 thumbs on each hand, so they can give you 4 thumbs up at the same time. So that koala fact is one that I really like. Honestly, the other thing was just getting to know reptiles better, you know, and we have a lot of different types of reptiles in this movie, pit vipers being one of them. And I think when people see how and why we chose a pit viper and how that plays out in the story, I think people are gonna light up to it.
Yeah, I already love him. He's so cool.